the Akron Zips. And we'll pull it up on the screen here. Coached by Joe Moorhead, they went 2-10 last season. Their post-game win expectancy for last year was 2.55 and 9.45. So about 2.5 wins. They ended up with 2 wins. This team kind of overperformed what was expected of them. And if you've watched this show at all for any length of time, you know that we I have a high level of respect for Joe Moorhead and his schemes. I think that he is one of the best coaches in this league, even though he is at a not great perennial football school, right? So Akron, they've got 30, excuse me, they were number 30 in returning production. That is 69.76% adjusted returning production. So they look to be experienced this year after a pretty good season. We'll start with the offense here. They lose wide receiver Shockey Jacques Lewis. Hopefully, I'm saying that right. And of course, they lose their right guard here, Anthony Wiggin. Uh, what to know about the offense? Offense averaged over 5.3 yards per play in 6 of the last 8 games. That Moorhead scheme with those quarterbacks really started to kick in. Midway through the season, the quarterback DJ Irons, and they seemed to look really good with the quarterback Jeff Undercuffler as well. DJ Irons was their leading rusher last year, or I guess he's the leading returning rusher for them. They were number 30. Again, in returning production, they've got a lot of experience coming back on offense. I think that's going to suit them well going into this season. You look at what they did last year. I mean, PPA margin was number 119 overall for the season, but they were number 50 in rushing success, number 31 in passing success. They just weren't very good on a per drive basis. Number 102 in offensive PPA per drive. Moving over to the defense, they got to replace 8 of their top 16 front 6 players with 100 plus snaps. You gotta keep up a good run defense. They were number 49 in rushing success rate allowed on defense last year. They're bringing in transfers to Ray Jones and Ahmad Rabba. Those guys should fill in pretty well. Jones, of course, from Tennessee State. Rabba from, I believe it's American International. The defense did improve over the season last year. They were 6.3 yards per play early in the year, and they were 4.3 yards per play allowed on the back end of the schedule. The secondary returns, almost everybody. Their defensive pass success rate was awful last year, but with experience, hopefully that should improve this year. They were number 120 in passing success rate allowed. Number 93 in explosiveness allowed on defense. That's definitely not good, especially considering their offense was not super explosive anyway. But they've got 8 of their top 10 tacklers returning. The big issue is they're losing 60% of their quarterback pressures from last year. The big players, of course, DJ Irons and Jeff Undercuffler. I would imagine Irons starts, but obviously we'll see. They're bringing in Lorenzo Lingard, transfer running back from Florida. Wide receiver Alex Adams, of course, is their leading returning receiver. He was at LSU last year. Linebacker Bubba Arslanian, he's their leading tackler. He's back this year. Look for him to be pretty big. They also bring in a new offensive lineman, Ben Frank, transfer player. They are projected favorites in 2 games this year. If you look at their luck rate, they were number 108 in luck rate. And that stat, we'll talk about it quite a bit, but that stat includes injury luck, turnover luck, etc. Their turnover margin was number 128. They cleaned that up this year. This team has a chance to do some big things. Moorhead did improve the team again. They were only 2-10, but the school believes in the direction, so they gave him an extension. Like they don't want him going anywhere. They lost 5 games last year by 1 possession. They went 6-3 against the spread in their last 9 games, and then to top it off, they signed their best recruiting class in a decade. Like this team is, headed in the right direction. The schedule may kind of limit the opportunity for success, but there's enough winnable games here to potentially surprise and maybe make a bowl game. Looking at their projected record, that's up there towards the top in the middle, 4.29 and 7.71 according to win probabilities and whatnot. Right now, I've got them at 4-8. Could I see them going 6-6? Maybe. I've definitely got them over the 3.5 they still need a lot of talent. So I've got them at 4-8. Their ceiling, I think, is 6-6. The floor is still sitting there at 1-11. So, we got some things to work on here, but I do like where Akron is headed. So I'll be looking forward to watching them this season. Thanks for listening to Winning Cures Everything. Make sure and follow me on Twitter at GaryWCE. If you want to toss in a question, you can email me, Gary@winningcureseverything.com. Make sure and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.